How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RUFFLEDLIVE, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we got loads of Pokemon stuff to take a look at, loads of leaks and information, so spoiler alert already right now. But not just that, this video is going to be very long, so you're going to have to sit back, relax for quite a long time. This can go anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I don't really know right now as I'm recording it, but we got loads of stuff to go through. We're going to start off here from Centro Leaks, who's been compiling a lot of the information from these different leaker sources that have been coming out with a bunch of info. So let's start from the top. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Leaks Part 4. The Jigglypuff, and again, you can go watch my video from yesterday for the previous leaks if you haven't seen those. That's a 30-minute video with information right there. But let's start with the new info. The Jigglypuff is an ancient form. Now, the Jigglypuff he's referring to right here is actually a Jigglypuff that we saw a picture of yesterday. Specifically, like, the leaker actually had that Jigglypuff as their profile picture for a while, and that's what he's referring to here. And we didn't know if that Jigglypuff was part of one of these 3 new features, because we know we have, like, 3 big new features. One of them is the Crystal feature, like crystallizing your Pokemon, which changes a part of their typing, a specific aspect, which we're going to talk about a bit later, because we have details on that too. There's another feature, which is these kind of time-warped Pokemon from different times. Regional Pokemon, of course, are also in the game, like regional forms, regular ones, and apparently some other kind of features similar to Megas, which we don't fully understand, but it's also similar to kind of Gigantamaxing, and it's connected to the crystallizing. So there's a lot of weird features and stuff in this game that we don't fully understand, and apparently this one is one of the time-warped Pokemon because it's an ancient form, so to say. The Crystallization gimmick seems to power up types, so it's gaining an additional stab. Basically, you're not changing typing. More what you're doing is adding a extra layer on top of typing. So it's crystal Pokemon. So for example, you can power up Pikachu to get a fire type boost, but it won't get additional weaknesses. And apparently there is a fire type looking Pikachu thingy, or like a redesign of it, which is interesting because it was actually even hinted in, and as mentioned here by Light Gacha, it was actually hinted in the first trailer. Pikachu uses the gimmick to use fire types moves. In the second trailer, they confirmed it. In the book, the red book, there's a Pikachu with the word fire, and yes, you can see it in the back there. Behind the character, on the shelf over there, you can see, if you look very closely, I'll move my camera to where it is, right here, this book right over here, okay? It shows a Pikachu, and it pretty much has the word fire over it in the Pokemon world text, right, in their own language, which I think is what it's all about. Apparently, of course, again, I don't really know, this is what Light Gacha is saying, and he's been trying to get a clear picture. Somebody's saying, like, they're not sure if that's the case, but there you go, a little bit of extra info. So basically, what this means, to explain the feature to you guys, as far as Centro says, and again, there is other sources. Blaine's has been saying something similar, but a little bit different. But basically, what this is saying is that your Pokemon will not turn into a fire type, but it will be able to use maybe certain moves. For example, Pikachu might be able to use fire type moves, and those fire type moves will be boosted by using the gimmick. So the Crystal Form gimmick, right? It will boost the Pokemon's type moves, right? And they will boost those, and that will cause them to do more damage. And certain Pokemon will also change form by using this crystal feature, similar to how Gigantamax Pokemon, Gigantamax Pokemon are looking a bit different than regular Dynamax Pokemon, right? So there's a lot of mistranslations going around regarding the gimmick, and the reality is that nobody knows for sure which is the exact way it works. So take it all with a grain of salt. And this was something that even I think the Riddler, if we go over to him, he's actually been pointing this out as well, because he has been saying that, guess what? A lot of this stuff is misinformed. There's been mistranslations, stuff like that. But let's see what he's been saying. So, he says, about the gimmick, I have told you all how it works and what it would look like in the game. And meanwhile, you won't be spoiled a lot, so you definitely would wear a tactic smile on your face when experiencing Titan in November. Something like, oh, he's talked that stuff before. So, info from March and the second polls are about the gimmick. So if we go back to those, we can figure out what he exactly is trying to say. Why I choose these two, you would find the answer in November or later trailers. And again, he's just saying, like, you know, due to the language barrier, a lot of stuff is being misinterpreted with this information that's being given out. So we don't really fully understand the gimmick, but we do understand that it has something to do with moves changing typings and certain Pokemon being able to kind of, you know, have an extra difference in them in some way. So either way, we're going to continue on. When the Pokemon returns to its Pokeball, the crystallization ends. Similar to, I guess, you know, like how it would end in Dynamaxing, but that's a bit different, I guess. But yeah, so gyms can be done in any order. However, there is no scaling. So you can do gyms in any order, but the gyms don't scale, which means that the final gym is still going to be super high level. That means if the final gym is like level 60, 70 or whatever, and you go there with level 1, it's still going to be 60-70. It's not going to change. It's still going to stay the same, more or less, right? It's not going to actually change in that regard, which is quite crazy to say the least. So that is really weird. I would have assumed that it would be scaling, but I guess they're going to be staying the same, unless I'm misinterpreting this. But it says, however, there is no scaling, so fair enough. You must clear 3 routes/quests to see the ending. So you need to do, I don't think it's 3 routes. I think he misinterpreted this. You have to, I think, clear 3, like, aspects of the game. Like, one of those 3 could be, like, clearing all the gym leaders, clearing the Elite Four, clearing some side mission thing. Doesn't matter, but, like, you have to, not routes and quests. I think what he meant to say here is you have to clear an aspect of the game. So I think he misinterpreted that to see the ending of the game. Those are not a past, present, future. We don't know what they are exactly, the endings, or the ending, right? You can re-battle gym leaders twice, is what I've heard. You can re-battle them twice, and that's it. Hypno is back, but doesn't have a new form. Bidoof, Beedrill are not in the game, apparently. And apparently you can play soccer with Pokemon. So you can play football. You guys can play some football. That's awesome. So you're going to be able to play a little bit of football with your Pokemon, apparently. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, so he's joking. He's joking. Yeah, the soccer thing is not true. Which is funny because you would have expected them to add football in the last generation with, you know, Galar, but the only thing we really got was Cinderace playing a bit of football. But yeah, but then a big piece of information that actually is true, and we kind of expected this, is that Lechonk's evolution has gender differences. So yes, one will probably be white and one will be black. The male one probably white, and the white one black. We already know this because Riddleku already did hint at this ID in the past. He already hinted at this concept already in the past. So this is not something that's brand new or something that we didn't already know. This is information that we are well aware of, to say the least. Next up, though, is some information, again, from our boy Centro here. Says the leaker hasn't mentioned anything about Camerupt, Shiinotic, or Rapidash. Now, apparently, Camerupt, Shiinotic, and Rapidash are supposed to be gaining new forms or changing forms. Apparently, he hasn't said anything about the new Crystallization gimmick about changing forms. That's fake. People who say that are just repeating this fake old 4chan post, lol. And this 4chan post was one that posted some information saying that the new gimmick is about types and whatnot. And then he also added, interesting, the leaker says that he has found out data for many Pokemon that currently don't appear in the game, and leftover data from Legends and BDSP. So apparently, there are a lot of BDSP and Legends Arceus Pokemon like data within the game that's there but not used, right? Which either means, one, DLC, which we have confirmation from the leaker as well, and multiple other sources have said that DLC will be in this game. It will be present. Of course, that's going to be next year most likely, so don't expect that now. But yeah, one, DLC is most likely what that's going to be, or two, this is just old data that won't not be used at all, right? They won't actually use any of this whatsoever, because what you got to understand with a lot of these games is they literally use the basis of one of their games to build the next game. That's what they always do, and they just iterate an existing basis. So they will take, like, you know, they'll create BDSP, then they'll literally reuse BDSP's assets or systems to create legends, etc., etc., etc. In this case, I'm not saying that that's exactly what they did, but they do this. They've done this in the past, and it doesn't seem like too uncommon for them to do that nowadays as well. So just keep that in mind as we go on. And then, of course, I already mentioned to you guys, there is going to be a new Jigglypuff, and that's the Jigglypuff that we just said is going to be some sort of ancient form. And here's an awesome artwork by our boy Subarashi, who put together an awesome drawing of what, like, little Count Jigglypuff could look like a little Count Dracula Jigglypuff. What do you guys think about that? Let me know. I think it looks sick. Again, shout out to Suba for making this, and shout out to Suba for hitting 1,000 followers, by the way. Awesome work, mate. But there you go. Next up, though, we have to look at all the other information that Blaines has been posting, because he's posted a lot. He's posted a lot of information, so I'm going to go through all his tweets starting from yesterday. First things first, was this Count Jigglypuff blurry image that was posted. We don't know if this one is real or not. I don't think anybody really, I don't know if anybody came out and confirmed it as real or not. Also, he says, I can confirm that Scarlet and Violet does have unused data, likely reserved for DLC. So there you go, a bit of an addition on that. And apparently the leaker was awake last night, and then he went into some crazy stuff. But interestingly, also Blaines does have some of his own sources and stuff that have been providing him with info, which apparently has been pretty accurate. So we continue. The internal battle raging within on us all. Well, this is more of a joke, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people do feel this. They want to have the female professor with the Violet legendary, but with Miraidon or whatever, but it is what it is. So we continue on, guys. So here we go. The big one. Wish Cash is in the game. In case you care about Wish Cash, it's there. It's in the game. And apparently, Sprigatito's evolution, we do have some information on that, but something got lost in translation apparently, but more or less, this should be Sprigatito's Evo. I know some people were questioning if it was or wasn't, but it should be Sprigatito's evolution, and he even provided further information on that, like further, like much more information on it. Also, we already know that Palmy here has been confirmed as like, or this, sorry, not Palmy, but this has been confirmed as Palmy's evolution rather, which is pretty straightforward. We already known about this for a while now. And again, what do you guys think about this? Let me know. So let's continue on to the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, which is all the other info, which I think is the biggest information we've received today, which is about all the other details. So let's start off from the top. We're gonna have to scroll quite a bit because there has been a lot of information that's just dropped. Also, Blaines just loves tweeting about random stuff all the time. But yeah, here's where he kind of starts. It goes off. As expected, there will be new skills in Scarlet and Violet. So there will be new skills that will be used. What those skills will be, I don't know if that's going to be like to do mining, like to mine like resources, or what else it will be. I do hope there is like crafting in the game again. That would be sick. And maybe add like, you know, more of those aspects of like, you know, what are in like games like, for example, Minecraft, which is an open world game, you know, crafting, mining, all that sort of stuff. I've been playing Pixelmon a lot lately. You should check us out on that. But maybe something like that similar, but skills, maybe if you do a certain thing enough times, you may be able to gain like, you know, faster movement speed. Actually, there was a lad who actually, a really awesome lad, who created this kind of idea of like, oh, what if you as a trainer can upgrade certain aspects of your character? So maybe if you do this thing often, then your capturing skill goes up. Or if you do this thing often, then your shiny rate skill goes up or something like that. I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but we'll have to wait and see. Spiritito is getting a special treatment that will be separate from the other starters apparently, and we'll be getting information on the main gimmick later on, which did happen. Of course, you also confirmed no Beedrill, which was sad. The special treatment, apparently, Spiritito will get a separate, will get that separate from the other starters, likely a super OP ability that was teased by Ku, which is interesting. Now it continues on. So major development, he got access to credible leaks, which were very descriptive of the final starters, and we continue on. The gimmick will be activated by using a special Pokeball, or special ball, not a Pokeball, from Nemona, right? So she'll be giving you some kind of ball that you'll be able to use to activate this new gimmick in one way or shape. And this ball was already hinted by Riddleku in, and if you don't know who Riddleku is, he's a legitimate leaker, he's given up real information, but this was already hinted by him a while back. He already hinted this a long time ago. And he says, I'll be posting a vivid description and details of the starter, final evolutions, and their special moves, which here goes on. So gimmick details. You get a ball from Nemona, you use it during battle, increases the power of a typing, right? Power disappears when Pokemon is recalled. So basically during battle, while you, like if you use this ball, use this feature, the Pokemon will gain this increased, like, you know, power of its certain typings, right? So maybe you'll increase the fire typing on a electric type Pokemon, or maybe you'll increase the grass typing on a water Pokemon. It doesn't matter though. What it does though, it increases the actual power of that move, not to a ridiculous amount, but to some level, causing that Pokemon to be able to do that move much stronger, similar to Stab. So think how Stab works. Stab works in the function of, if your Pokemon is, let's say, flying type, using a flying type move will do more damage than if you were to use, like, I don't know, if your Pokemon can learn High Jump Kick. It will do less damage if you don't have the fighting typing, but if you use Aerial Ace, for example, it will make more sense, it will do more damage. So that's more or less what it seems. It seems like an overhaul of Megas, but it's not Megas as we knew it. So this literally fits perfectly, because Riddleku literally told us Megas are kind of in the game, but kind of not at the same time. And this perfectly fits with that. And of course, certain Pokemon will look different when using this gimmick. Similar to Gigantamaxing, right? Certain Pokemon will get their actual design change, whereas the others will not. That's basically what we're getting from this. So the leaker dropped a lot of juicy info, but he once again deactivated his account. So he continues on. Apparently, the gimmick details continue. The typing power increases after you hit a Pokemon and applies to only one typing. However, the powered up typing can be changed somehow, which is interesting. Like, that is actually pretty crazy. He says, I can confirm that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet gimmick changes forms into crystal style. So your Pokemon will, I don't know if that every Pokemon will get that, but apparently Pokemon will change into a crystallized form of themselves in this case, which you guys can kind of see as an example from this one leaked image that we do have. Pikachu can apply the gimmick to fire type. So Pikachu basically gets a fire typing added. Not really a literal fire typing, but like to a certain moves. If it has a fire type move, it'll be added in there and go crazy. So what do you guys think about that? And apparently the gimmick appears to swap the typing of your Pokemon, thus raising the stab of different move types. The form change happens for certain Pokemon changing to certain types, not any types. For example, the effect in the picture happens on a Camerupt if you make it fairy type only. Now, how in the world is this a Camerupt? I'm very confused. For example, the effect in the picture happens on a Camerupt, which I don't really see the Camerupt here. What? Either way. But either way, so if you make it fairy type only, so if you have like Camerupt, it'll make it a fairy type only, for example. But Camerupt changing to fairy type will create a flower bed on its back, but changing it to dark type only adds a darkish aura. So interesting. Okay, interesting. Staraptor was also confirmed to be in the game, which I don't know. Fair enough. Rapidash with Gimmick changes to a new form for electric type only. So, okay, the way we see it like this. Basically, every Pokemon, if it can have a certain move, right, it'll be able to use the Gimmick to change into that specific kind of like, you know, to increase temporarily the typing of the Pokemon, just changing to that typing, right? Temporarily, so type changing more or less, right? Not a third typing, not an added typing, literally changing typing temporarily for the moves, specifically in that aspect. But certain Pokemon, when they're doing the crystallizing, will apparently change, okay? Certain typings will specifically change the Pokemon's design, but only specific typings will change their design. So for example, if Rapidash can learn like a fighting type move, as an example, then it will not change the way it looks. But if it gets the electric typing, then it will change to a brand new form, as an example. Now, we don't know if this is confirmed with Rapidash and Camerupt. Again, no confirmation on that. And apparently, Shiinotic changes form in Gimmick using water type, apparently. And again, no confirmation on that either, as we already mentioned. But again, Shiinotic changes, so basically if it's using the Gimmick and it has water type move, or water typing in this case, as, you know, what you change it to, I don't know how that's really going to function. I'm assuming this is something you preset before you go into battle, or you have only like a specific set of options. I think it's even explained in the tweet right above. But basically, you only have a few options of typings you can choose from, and then, you know, those typings you choose from is what will decide kind of like what moves or whatever it's going to be increased on. So here's a bit of an explanation. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Plaza secret revealed. Maps everything typing counter type. So basically what I'm trying to think is, well, I guess he's trying to say here is that if you look at the actual map here, or this circle with all the typings, it kind of shows you what, like, which typings will be like kind of functioning with each other. So for example, it maps every typing's counter type, where one type is both strong against another and weak against another. Every type has this. Example, so, you know, example, fire is counterpart to water and grass and are marked next to each other. More on this in the next tweet. Plaza's counter-type order will change from picture for final release. So apparently this image will be changed once we actually see the final game. A Pokemon cannot become its counter-type using the Gimmick. Example, Rapidash cannot become water or grass. Staraptor cannot become electric. So basically, I think what they can become, though, for example, is, I guess, if you take, you know, Rapidash, if he can't become water or grass, I guess he can become something that's close to that, right? Something that's within the realm of that. And I think it makes sense if you actually look right here. I guess, like, look at the little, like, arrows of the sun that are kind of going out, that are kind of merging some of the typings together. I guess it makes sense, right? But of course, this image is going to be changed later on. Normal type has apparently a huge buff and can switch to any type in the Gimmick. So normal type Pokemon are going to be fucking broken then. Okay, normal type Pokemon are going to be broken if they can change into literally any other typing. I mean, seriously, think about how disgustingly broken that is. That like legitimately sounds like it would be beyond insane, like that you can do anything. And at this point, Twitter did actually like break down, and he continues on. So due to Scarlet Violet's open world style, you can do gym leaders in any order, which we have talked about already, but they do not actually, you know, apparently Leakers seems to suggest that gyms are not the main feature of the game. So gyms are not the main feature. There hasn't been much of a mention, though, interestingly. I haven't seen really any mentions about the racing feature, which has been hinted at. So that's interesting. But due to Scarlet Violet's open world style, you can do gym leaders in any order. So if they can do them in any order, but they don't scale as mentioned by Centro, I wonder how well that's going to... Well, I mean, I guess it will function, right? It makes sense. Bidoof is not in the game, as we already learned. And apparently, we continue on here and says that we have to complete 3 main features in the game. And this is where I think Centro kind of... I don't know, either left or right side. I don't know which one of the guys got it wrong, or got it right. I don't even know. But apparently, here's what he says. You have to complete 3 main features in the game to see the ending, which, as mentioned before, is good, assuming gyms are one of the 3. There's a new Pokemon with a hammer, fair enough, and the Gimmick will not radically change a Pokemon's stats. So your stats on your Pokemon will not be going crazy because of this new Gimmick, which is actually decent in my opinion. And then he was saying, like, doing a countdown, I guess, for 20k followers on Twitter to get, you know, I guess the starter evolution reveals or information about the starter evolutions. And he says Furret line is not in. So Furret apparently is not in the game, which is weird because I could have sworn Central said it was. Could have sworn he said it was, but I could be crazy here. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. maybe I'm crazy, but it is what it is. We go back and we continue on. So, continue on. Just to confirm, there is no type changing. It is powering up types only, but there is form change similar to Gmax concept, but they're not going to be gigantic or whatever. So basically, as confirmed before, your Pokemon's type doesn't change. Rather, the typing of the moves is powered up, if that makes any sense. And your Pokemon gets crystallized, so to say. And certain Pokemon, when they do this feature, will actually change the way they look. So there you go. That's kind of the way to explain it. You can beat the gyms at least twice. And yeah, what do you guys think about that? Apparently also, this is a big one. This actually came out from, I think, I don't remember exactly who did it, but like somebody did, I think one of the big Pokemon news websites from, I think, France, or not PokeCalos or the other one. PokeExperto actually tweeted out that apparently there's a new official Pokemon Scarlet and Violet website domain that has been registered, which here it is. It's Pokemon Center sv-campaign.pokemon.co.japan, which usually indicates that something is on the way. Like there's a new piece of stuff they have to put on the website. There's a new like domain. Usually that means that they're about to release something or reveal something big. So that means that we should be staying alert for the next week. Because information could drop at any given time at that point, okay? So just keep that in mind in case you are wondering what's happening with that. But apparently, yes, there is something coming because otherwise the actual domain wouldn't exist, more or less. We continue on. Vivillon is apparently in the game. That's confirmed. And regular Hypno is confirmed. And then we continue on. There is no flying type gym, which is fair enough. And then we continue on, and then Sprigatito, and here's the information about the starters. Sprigatito is a bipedal necromancer, which is a grass dark type, empowers itself with evil spirits. This is what we have so far on its appearance right there. Both male and female Lechonk evolution will look different. So yes, there will be a difference between them, similar to Pyroar and a few other Pokemon that do have gender differences between them. I think Unpheasant, for example. Fuecoco evolves into a dragon-esque alligator that looks goofy. It's a fire and ghost type, and it's a very vicious when provoked. So it's going to be a dragon-looking alligator that looks kind of goofy, which, I don't know if that's a good thing, but fire ghost typing is confirmed again. Then Quaxley becomes a knight, which is also goofy, and can create a horse out of water. It trains other Pokemon in his ways. This is what we have of his appearance so far. Unsure if it's the final or mid-stage evolution here. Now, the starter leaks I just posted came from a source from over a month ago, who correctly leaked Girafarig evolution, Dunsparce evolution, and Dolphin Pokemon, all confirmed by our main leaker. And yeah, apparently these were all coming from multiple different sources, okay, that have all now been more or less confirmed by each other in some way, shape, or form, if that makes any sense. It is pretty crazy. It is a lot. It is a lot of stuff to go through. I'm not going to lie. It is way too much information at this point. Then he continues on and says, Arceus data is in the game, but Leaker does not expect Arceus to be in the actual game. So Arceus, the Pokemon itself, is in the data, but he doesn't expect it to actually be catchable. And that's fair enough, I guess. And Leaker-chan previously referred to 4 sub-legendaries. So 4 legendaries that are kind of like not like, you know, your main legendaries like Lugia and Ho-Oh or Rayquaza, Groudon, and Kyogre, but rather the smaller ones like Latios, Latias, you know, Uxie, Azelf, Mesprit, Regice, Regirock, you know, Entei, Raikou, Suicune, etc., right? Basically, there's going to be four of those, and it's in a set of legendary Pokemon aside from the 2 revealed dragons. He also uses the term 4 Heavenly Kings, which likely refers to the legendaries rather than the Elite 4, which is interesting. This Among Us form is not an evolution. Apparently, this is one of the either ancient or future forms that are going to be in this game. So, ancient type Pokemon are in this, which is crazy. And also, apparently, Magikarp is in the game. So, yes, regular Magikarp. And like I said, I think he did misconstrue this here. That's why I was like, looking at this part right here about the legendaries or the Heavenly Kings. It does refer to the Elite 4, apparently. So maybe each of the Elite 4 does have a direct connection to one of the 4 sub-legendaries. Maybe that's the connection here, and that's the point. And also, it is sub-legendaries that they're referring to here, and not pseudo-legendaries. I've seen some people comment and say, like, oh, it's just pseudo-legendaries, that's what he meant. No, I think he specifically pointed it out, and as it was translated by people who do speak Japanese and stuff like that, they did confirm that, yes, it's supposed to be sub-legendaries, not pseudo-legendaries. So it's literally actual legendary Pokemon. They're just the less important one, if that makes any sense. So, let's continue on down further. There are still 4 sub-legendaries. Applin is not in the game, apparently, which is quite sad, I guess. You take classes and exams in the game. Sounds like Persona, apparently. So, apparently the game is going to have exams in it, and that's interesting. So, Persona 5-esque. That's something, I guess. I think my girl's going to love it. My girl, Yolene's going to love that. She loves Persona 5. It's her favorite game. So, hey, honestly, that sounds pretty reasonable. I'm going to be honest. Sounds pretty reasonable. But that's not all. We've gone through everything that Blaine's has said right here. But there is, of course, loads of other stuff that's been posted by other people. So we're going to go through all the other things that have been posted. One of the other accounts that's been posting a bunch of stuff is Pokemon Leaks, or PKMN Leaks, over on Twitter. Now, they've been posting a lot of stuff. So sit back, relax as we dive through all their information, because a lot of their info is a little bit more, you know what I mean? Just please keep that in mind. But for example, is the hint of the Fire Pikachu. So as you guys can see, we have, as I mentioned, this book that seems to show the word fire and then a Pikachu kind of silhouette. So pretty much I think that could more or less confirm for us that yes, there is going to be, is Kaka right, a fire type Pikachu. It is marked fire on the book. So there is possibility that that's going to be the case. What do you guys think about that? We continue down further. There is loads of other information. We're gonna have to go through everything because he's been asking the Kaka leaker, right? The original leaker, but that guy is not really 100% trustworthy, if that makes any sense. Let's just say it like that. I don't really trust the guy because he's been saying a bunch of stuff and I don't know what to trust, what to believe, and all that. There's also this image which was posted over on 4chan. Now, this looks like, to a lot of people have been saying, like, oh, it just looks like the Dale Me, which is like this like AI generator that can generate random images, whatever you type into it. So I don't really know if this can be trusted as anything valuable or of, you know, value in any case or any way. But yeah, I don't know if we should really trust this. Nonetheless, this person has been going, like, this has been popping up over on 4chan. This is obviously fake. I mean, this is pretty, like, obviously fake, and it's even confirmed by Hayin here that it is fake and not real. But there's been loads of stuff. And apparently here, a Pokemon that sounds like Sushi is maybe going to be in the game. Again, no confirmation on that. Whatever you guys think about it, let me know in the comment section down below. We move on to the more interesting stuff. As you guys may have seen, there has been actually a trailer filmed over in Spain. There's been a trailer that's been filmed that people have taken pictures of it for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There's a trailer that's literally been being filmed. I covered this in our previous video as well. But you can see all this, like, the set images here and, like, photos people were taking of, like, the set that they were setting up and, like, what they were filming for the actual trailer, which means this trailer can either drop, usually if they're filming this won't drop for another month, but there's always a chance this could drop earlier than expected because, you know, we'll see how what happens. And here it continues, it says, see the gas station with the tire behind it, the new Pokemon Center. Wouldn't it have a reference with this picture in which we can see someone riding a Koraidon? We recharge our Pokemon and go on an adventure and move on. So I do think that is highly possible. And then, of course, we have the Palmy. There's been a more clear image of it now. There it is over there, the 3D image that's more clear, showing it off again, which I think is quite interesting. We move on up further. There's been this weird thing, which I don't even know what this is, but this was also posted, and I don't really know. It's also from 4chan, so I don't know if you can really trust it. Apparently, there's been a lot of weird, like, opinions on this one, and our buddy Subarashi came through again and actually, like, what do you call it? Like, he actually came through and made a drawing of what this could look like. And I'm trying to just find it for you guys so you can see it, because it is quite the thing. It's quite the art, to say the least. But I don't really know if I have the drawing of it, like, ready to go right now. Nonetheless, that's another one that was posted on 4chan. We can see the next one, which is, of course, the Quoxley Evo images that have been popping up, which there was quite a lot of those. And then apparently there was this one, which also Subarashi drew a drawing of this one as well, which here is the drawing of this one that he made, which I think looks great, by the way. But again, this one I think is more likely on the fake side, I would argue. I don't think this one really looks real in any way or shape or form. So let's keep that in mind. We continue on down further. Some people are making, like, you know, 3D models out of it, and I guess to confirm that it is fake or something. I don't know if this person was the one who made it. I think Fuacho made it. Then also there was a past tense Hoot Hoot image that was posted on 4chan. Whether the leak is true or not, I love the concept of patch of future forms. So he made, like, here's some fan-made, I guess, stuff most likely. This is probably not real or, like, legitimate. Just keep that in mind. So just remember. Then there was this image as well that showed up. This one apparently was shared by this person, Emma Saturni. Which seems to show a Slugma, like I think a Slugma or something like a Slugma in the distance. Again, I think most likely most of these are fake. And here's the artwork, by the way, that was drawn of that weird-looking Pokemon by Subarashi. Shout out again to Suba for that. Nonetheless, there is some interesting situation. So here's what New Tyboy says. There are 3 male and 5 female gym leaders in Gen 9. Generation 9's Elite 4 will therefore probably have 2 times the males and 2 times the females. So 2 times 2 males, 2 females, because this equals the list, which is male, 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 female, 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 male, 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 male. So that's what was specifically said by Riddle in terms of what genders all the different characters will be. So a possible Elite 4 with fighting, dark, dragon, ghost, fire, steel, flying, ground, poison, or rock are possibilities, which is quite interesting. And here's what, like, is the next thingy that was posted by this, like, we don't know if this guy's real, if this guy's the original Kaka leaker, but this guy's been saying some stuff in Japanese, and he says, I can't tell, well, this is all, by the way, all Google translated, so I wouldn't trust any of this. This is all just more hearsay. All the previous that we talked about, more or less in the legitimate realm from Blaine's and Centro, but this is more where it gets iffy. But I can't tell you the name of it, but it can be gimmicked up using something that looks like a ball that Nemona gives you. So that's already what we've spoken about. It can be used during battle to change when it becomes a gimmick. The power of the corresponding type of skill is then increased, which is, I guess, the move specifically. When the monster ball is inserted, it returns to its, or I guess when you return your Pokemon, it goes back to its original state. When Pikachu becomes an electric gimmick, the power of 10 Mamburu is increased. I guess fire type moves is increased, is what he's trying to say here. So, question here was, so you want to power up one type, so Pikachu's electric attacks will become stronger, but the other types won't. It says only one type per Pokemon is more powerful than the other, but there are places where you can change it. It's hard to explain. So what I'm understanding from this is that maybe if, for example, Pikachu is able to fire, like, you know, like boost up its fire typing using the gimmick, you can go to a location similar to how you change maybe like, I don't know, change other aspects of your Pokemon, like, you know, how you increase the EVs, IVs, or maybe if you can even, like, you know, PK, imagine PK hexing a Pokemon, like hacking a Pokemon to give it a specific, you know, nature or whatever that you need, right? Think of this in a similar way. They can go to a location, talk to someone, and change the corresponding typing that you want to have increased in your Pokemon. And then there will be a limit on which, what amount of typings you can do for it, right? In this case, Pikachu has fire typing as an added one, plus probably something else, but only certain cases will cause the Pokemon to change its actual style on the actual design and all that. So keep that in mind. So he says, you know, again, we already see it was already said here. Continue on. Can be used during battle to change when it becomes a gimmick. The power of the corresponding types is going to increase. Again, we already knew that. And then he says, so would you consider it a field system that only applies to the one Pokemon? Answer, it is difficult to call it a field system. Slightly different, which, fair enough. We'll continue on further. Only once per battle. Once used, it lasts until it goes into the Pokeball. So literally, this is something that's usable throughout the whole battle until you return the Pokemon. That's literally it. Once you return it, then it doesn't work anymore. And somebody said, you know, once per battle. Again, literally just said once I return it, that's it. But again, I don't know how many Pokemon can use this feature throughout a battle, though. You can play football with Pokemon, but this is more like a joke. As we already know. But yeah, that was the end of today's information. Then Twitter went down, and I think we pretty much didn't miss anything from there. I think we've gone through everything that had to be said at that point. I don't think we really missed anything. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think in terms of information, we've pretty much gone through everything we had to go through in this video, more or less. I'm just double checking if there's any information because this is already a 33-minute video, which is quite long to say the least. But that's going to be pretty much it though, guys. But before we go, I just want to quickly just mention, we have our own website now set up called rufflerowlet.serial.app. It will be linked down below. It's a website where you guys can go to check out our videos, which we'll be, you know, regularly posting as well. But also, if you want to become a specific support member or whatever and, you know, pay a monthly fee, or you can get the free option. But if you do the monthly fee, you can get access to some of our, like, projects we're working on in the background, especially the, like, projects like our fan games. You can just get early access, not to pay for the games. It's just early access to the files and stuff if you need any files or anything else. It's just an extra feature, but it's also a free option for just other stuff that I'll be providing you guys over on the website. Plus, all the regular download links for other stuff will be linked there. So just go over there. Again, not a paid feature in general. It's just an option for anybody that wants to just, you know, pitch in, support, almost like a donation type feature, but it's not necessary. It's just there as an option, kind of just because the website, you know, kind of needs that with the builder I'm using, kind of need to use that. So it's just there, right? But outside of that, you guys can just go over there, you know, just join the free option. It's free, no money's needed, and you guys can get access to a bunch of files, a bunch of stuff like that, and, you know, of course, videos, plus any other production stuff that I've got going on in the background. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Thank you so much for watching. That's going to be it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.